Hello, Joan.
Hiya! Oh my God, there's me saying I'm just about to do a fast. That
I
looks
know.
fantastic.
I saw that. That's why I wanted to show you that. How are you?
I'm really good. Yeah, it's really weird because I've got this person now in front of me with a one-to-one who's got this wealth of experience, and I'm thinking I don't actually know what to ask.
By the way, I like your dog.
Oh, well, do you know what? I tell you something about this actually. Yes, it's quite funny. And on the Zoom on Tuesday,
Yeah.
I because I when I first got it, it was a bit too snug,
Yeah. Okay.
and then I I I put it on for the Zooms, and of course, once a week I'm able to tell the difference. And when I put it on Tuesday, I thought, oh my God, this is
I
really
know.
like a bit better. So I've done well. I'm just started my 7th week. I'm 16 pounds down.
But how do you feel mentally?
Oh God, I can't tell you. I mean, I'm kind of like saying the same as everyone else has said. You know, that fog. I mean, I used to get up in the morning, drag myself out of bed. I My head was like, oh, I don't know. It was like a sieve, you know. And I'm much more alert. I think I'm much more sort of bright eyed and suddenly the other day, someone actually said to me, "Oh, have you lost weight?" And I'm like, "Oh, I love you," you know. And yeah, like clothes are starting to fit better, but I mean, I've got a long, long way to go because I've got a massive weight.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? You are in the right place.
Yeah,
Continue healing yourself. What I always say is this. I know a lot of people say, I want to lose weight and be healthy, but actually you want to be healthy first, and then
yes, I've heard you say that.
yeah, you want to be healthy first. You see, when you're carrying excess body fat, you've got something called hyperinsulinemia, and when you got hyperinsulinemia, or there's some literally your body's inflamed, because the insulin causes lots of inflammation. But anyway, what you're doing now is slowly healing yourself. So just keep doing what you're doing. And then you said you've done a 24-hour fast. If you're not feeling hungry, let's try and start changing things up a bit. So you can do a 48-hour fast.
Yeah, I did one of those the other week. I felt really, really good for it. And I was going to eat today, actually. I was
Yeah,
going to eat. I got like chicken and everything all in the fridge. And then I suddenly thought, do you know what?
I'm hungry.
I just don't think I'm going to, And this last week, I think it's like a couple of people on the chat have got a little bit confused with things. And I think my best advice, what I've said to them, is just keep it simple. Just strip
Yes.
it back and keep it simple.
Yeah.
And this last week, that's all I've done. I've just kept it really simple,
Yeah.
and I've just really mixed it up. I've done some OMAD days. I've done some and I just found it really worked for me. And like this last week, I felt so much better.
You see, what I was trying to say in the community, and I think a lot of time people miss it, but I've actually said almost everybody have had a one-to-one call. We do the one-to-one calls on Thursdays. Now, this is what I say, right? As a human being, as a wild human being, it doesn't matter how advanced we think we are still, our bodies are still the same. And so as a human being, there would never have been you getting up in the morning and there's time for you to eat this single time. So confuse your body. Sometimes I'll eat at 3 o'clock, sometimes I'll eat at 4, sometimes I'll eat at 5. And then go do that for maybe a couple of days, and then go 48 hours. And then go back to eating 2 meals a day for 2 days, and then go back to 1 meal a day. Just keep confusing your body. It doesn't get used to doing one thing, because your body always wants to stay the same.
I've actually found, well, I think it's just kind of happened naturally that I don't have a set meal time now.
Good. That's good.
Do you know what I mean? This last week, I mean, I did that funny enough the other day. I think I ended up eating, it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but that's all I ate. But that was fine because I just felt that was the right time, and yeah, I just felt, I don't know, I just feel like I'm a bit more in tune with everything now. And over the years, I mean, I'll be 60 next year, so nearly most of my adult life I have been overweight, and I've struggled with it, and I've done the clubs and
Yeah,
the
but it's not. The thing is, it's not your fault. This is what upsets me. That's why I'm making so much noise, because it's not your fault. We're not giving the right information. All this slimming world,
yeah.
Weight Watchers slim, they don't know what. Yeah, I know.
I know, and it's all, and you realise now, of course, you think, my God, yeah, how could I have not like sussed
It
that?
makes sense, doesn't it? What I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you know, I mean, like I don't snack, and I don't, and I to be honest, Eddie, I still weigh out, you know, like on the plan.
Yeah.
Like if I have nuts, for instance, I weigh them because it's very easy, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, more. And I know there was someone on the Zoom on Tuesday that asked a question, and I thought, duh, you know,
Yeah.
and it was like, can I eat like a whole bag of nuts? Well, come on, you know. Yeah, but, you know, so I still weigh stuff like that just so that I know.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean,
fine.
there's nothing wrong with that. But
No.
you know what, Dawn, that makes me laugh. You have to bite your tongue a lot.
I know.
Linda says to me, Eddie, I don't know why you got so much patience. It's not patience. You have to be with people because you're telling them something completely different from what they've been taught mainstream. So I know that it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
Honestly, sometimes I get some questions. I'm like, have you
Yeah.
actually, it's my first day here. Where's the meal plan? I'm like, well, can you go to the classroom and watch the videos? But
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, isn't it? You're not going to eat a whole bag of nuts, you know. That's like not the point, and that kind of pisses me off. And I'm like, oh, for God's sake. You know. But anyway, but one thing I do want to talk to you about, and because I wondered if it was related. So I started this on what was it, 10th of June,
Yes.
and then I recently had a heart monitor put on me because I suddenly started to go into AF.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had 3-4 really nasty bouts of it. Which
Before.
lasted like 2.5 hours after I started the thing.
Yeah,
and I just wondered, could it be my body suddenly adjusted the fact of going like 0 sugar?
It could be as well. I mean, the thing is, AFib takes decades to develop. It's not something that would have happened overnight.
No, oh yeah, no,
but it takes a long time. So for you to, it's possible that, but since then you haven't had it, have you?
No, I had it sprawled over about 3 weeks, weird thing. So I had to go to A&E a couple of times because I was really bad with it. And so, you know, I was able to record it on my watch, my phone, plus I had you know, all the data and everything. So they asked me to wear this heart monitor for the week. Of course, I never had anything on the while I was on it. While I was on the heart monitor. So anyway, I've had to give it back. So I think they've just done that as a, you know,
precaution.
Yeah, but before that, I went to have my normal annual sort of blood check, and
yeah.
It was 6.7.
What was that?
It's 6.7.
You talk about your cholesterol.
Yeah, my cholesterol. Yeah. But I wasn't actually too bothered about that because I remember a time when cholesterol used to be, they used to say if you were between 5 and 6, and then they moved the goalpost down, and it was like, how can they do that? You know.
The thing is, I deliberately make a lot of videos about cholesterol.
Yes.
We need cholesterol. Cholesterol has been blamed for so much, but cholesterol is not. What you got to worry about is your triglycerides, the fat in your blood. Having high cholesterol is actually associated with longevity, especially when you get to our age. You know, you die young if you have low cholesterol. So please don't worry about your cholesterol, right?
No, actually, I'm not. And what I was going to say, the funny thing is, right, when they took my bloods at the time, I was really feeling crappy. This was before I started.
Yeah.
So you were like a godsend. When I saw you or found you on, I can't remember if it was Instagram or Facebook, and I just thought, you know what, that just makes perfect sense to me. I think I need to like get onto this. But I'd been to the doctor and had my blood test, and I was feeling really crappy, and they said to me, "You're anemic," and they did all these tests, and my iron was low and everything like that. And then I thought, well, this is even better reason then to eat more protein. And yeah, exactly.
Anemia.
Yeah, exactly.
Anti-anemia.
Yeah, well, the good thing is, when I was at A&E the other week with the heart, of course they took all my bloods.
Yes.
Perfect. All my bloods were perfect. And I was like, yes. And you know.
But honestly, keep healing yourself. The other thing is with AFib, sometimes, especially when you're transitioning to eating proper food, anything that raises your blood sugar slightly, sometimes it may cause problems like that. So if you're okay now, please keep eating the foods that are making you feel good. And then
Yeah.
start writing things down. If anything like that happens, hang on, what did I eat before? Because your body doesn't do anything without a reason.
Yeah, no, I was I started keeping a food diary actually for
Yes.
1 week. I think
And a feeling diary, and a feeling diary. So write how you're feeling and write what you're eating. It's
yeah,
important to know, you know what I mean?
yeah. But I've been really good at dodging stuff because I live in a small village and our social life is either the pub or eating out. But I've done really, you know, my mindset is like, I don't know, it's just totally different now from what it used to be.
Coming from India, it's coming from India, Dawn, the gut brain axis. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't even think about food now like
I know.
I used to get up in the morning and then worry about what I was going to eat, you know, and think, oh God, no, I can't have this, and I've got to have low fat that, and I can't
Yeah.
have. Oh my God, it was like this all the time, and it was like in my head, that was all I thought about all the time was food, and now that seems to have all just gone.
It's empowering, isn't it? It is empowering.
It's lovely because all of a sudden I think, my God, I must have been wasting so much mind time on.
You're not the only one. You are not the only
No.
one. I'm coming from eating 6 meals a day, getting up in the morning thinking, oh my God, I got to eat a massive big porridge with them, big bowl of porridge with lots of, honestly, and then I felt tired straight away. Now
Yeah.
I feel better than I did when I was in my 30s, like
Yeah.
mentally and physically, and I'm not going to stop.
No, no. I mean, it's other things that I've really noticed as
Yeah.
well, because my like my knees are pretty shot, you know, from carrying a lot of weight all the time. And before I started this, honestly, if you'd seen me walking up the stairs, well, it was like some 90-year-old walking up a stair, and I was having to walk up like one stair, and now
Same,
both my feet, I'm walking up my stairs going, yes, you know, and it's all the inflammation, everything.
Yes, inflammation, I know. All the information is going. So remember, can I just, this is important. I know, so that you just keep giving yourself time. If you cut yourself, like we talk about inflammation, if you cut yourself, the area swells up. Now that is inflammation. That's what is called inflammation. Now, slowly the inflammation goes down, and then there's a soft scab, and then there's a hard scab, and then eventually it will heal. It'll take a few days and everything. Now, when you've got inflammation, it means all your cells are stuck at that swollen stage. So right now, you're forming a soft scab, and then slowly you form a hard scab. So give your body a chance to heal from the inside. Honestly, the more you continue doing this, and please put the right nutrients in there. Eat lots of red meat, fatty red meat, if you can. And obviously eggs, make sure the eggs that you're getting up are, organic.
Fair enough. I've just changed my eggs, and I'm enjoying them a lot more. I changed them to organic from free range.
Yes.
And you actually gave a really good tip a couple of weeks ago in one of the Zooms, because I was struggling sometimes. I changed the eggs around. You know, sometimes I have them fried, sometimes I have them scrambled, whatever. But I was always hard boiling them. And then I think it was you that said, "Oh, softer." Yeah.
Yes.
And
constipation, I know.
Yeah, and that worked better for me. But because sometimes I've been doing OMAD, I haven't actually worried about so much the eggs. But ribeye is like, oh yeah.
Oh, it's the best food, isn't it?
Because I went off veg for a bit, and I was just eating like meat as well, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I'm sure that's okay to do. But I always choose a ribeye. And when I've gone out for a meal, I just don't even bother looking at the menu. I just go ribeye. And then I said, I was out the other day, and this actually pissed me off, right? I was out with a group of friends, and they all want starters and all the rest of it. And I said, no, not for me, thanks. No. I already looked, you know, I thought I'm going to have a ribeye. And I just said to them, when they came, they were like, oh, I said, I don't want the chips. I don't want the tomatoes. Can I just have some extra mushrooms, and I'll have a side salad?
Yeah.
Now, I'm a happy bunny because I've got a ribeye on the plate. You know, I'm like, thank you very much, because I could eat that every day.
And they think you're a weirdo, don't they?
This is not a problem for me, you know. And but they were going, oh,
yeah, I know.
So sad.
What's wrong with you?
Not allowed to eat. And I was like, with your gritted teeth, and I was like, I said, this isn't that I'm not allowed. I said, it's my choice.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. You can eat whatever you want. You choose.
And then one of them piped up and said, well, she said, you know, you can't be going without sugar all the time. You won't be well. And I just looked at him and I said, what, that poison, you mean?
but you see, now, you see, that's what the average person thinks.
Yeah.
It's not their fault at all. I mean, and I've gone out of my way to make people aware, look, if you're carrying excess body fat, please don't blame yourself. It's not your fault. You're not lazy. You're not a glutton. It's just that we've been misinformed about food for a long time. And it's not, you know, like your doctor they give you the FODMAP and they tell you to eat healthy.
Oh, yeah. My doctor said to me when I had this conversation before I started with you, and it's about being anemic and everything, and she said, well, you know, you weigh too much. I'm what they call morbidly obese, which is a lovely terminology, I think. Thanks very much.
An insult, isn't it? I know.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you know, the thing is, okay, I'm morbidly obese, but I felt like that.
Yeah, I know. You're making it worse.
Yeah, she said, right, you'll need to cut your fats out and everything. And I'd heard you on that, but I hadn't actually joined at the time. And I said to her, I said, so you're telling me that fat's the enemy and not sugar? And she didn't know what to say to me. She just went back to her computer, typed something in, and then she said to me, I want you to follow the NHS website.
No.
Deal
Don't do
with that, this and that. And I just thought, nah, I'm not actually. I'm signing on to Eddie.
But you know, I worked for the NHS for years. They trained me. They trained me. I was a nurse, and I was a psychiatric nurse. And on the ward, you saw the patients, and then the patients came in, and honestly, in the morning, you give them cereal. You give them cornflakes. That's the most common food. Cornflakes with sugar on it and milk, skimmed milk with sugar.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And then the patients will go. Sometimes they go hyper. They go crazy, and then you give them drugs so they're all sitting there drooling. And I just think, surely that's not what I studied. When I was a student, what I learned is all dynamic and these behavior modification programs and that. We couldn't do that. As soon as you went in the ward, 4 nurses, 30 patients, you're a cleaner, you're a feeder. And now I couldn't do it anymore. Now, I knew the food was wrong, but I couldn't say anything. Now I'm qualified, but I'm not registered. So I can scream all they want. Nobody's going to say to me, oh, we're going to take you off the register. Fucking take me off. I'm not in an register. I can say what I want. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The NHS guideline is wrong and they're not going to change it.
No. So I'm not actually, that's why I'm not bothered about, you know, what they say about my cholesterol or anything, because
no, don't worry about that at all. Just keep hitting yourself.
The best, you know, I feel much better than I did 6 weeks ago. I mean, I just feel totally different than I did 6 weeks ago. So I'm not going to let them tell me, you know, because they started murmuring statins, and I just went, no way.
No fucking way. Listen,
I wouldn't have done it anyway. I totally refuse. I think they are the worst thing. So many of my clients.
It's the most profitable drug ever.
Oh, I know.
Because when you get to a certain, I've got a friend of mine, Simon, who's 36 years old. He's a diabetic, and he's been told he needs to be on statins. He just laughed at them because he knows, you know, he eats the way I eat. Statins at 36 years old. You know, by the way, before I forget, thank you so much for being so active in the community, because we're trying to create a community where people help each other out. And, you know, initially when we started out, we're doing a monthly subscription, and we realized that we're only going to help the people who can afford it. So we said, let's do a one-off fee and then create a community that can help itself. And then, so that's what we do. So please don't stop. Just keep being active, because you're helping a lot.
Do it. I have days when I think, oh, God, I'm busy. I haven't, like, you know, and Cuz, well.
He's hilarious, isn't he? I told him to write a book. I think he should write a book. He's funny.
Oh, he has been my number one, I would say, of inspiration and humour. And I've got some friends in New Zealand that I keep saying I'm going to see. And I tell you what, if I do, I'm ringing him up and I'm going to come with me.
What we do one day, we're going to, you know, do a thing where we're going to invite as many people.
You know, I wondered about that. I thought, wouldn't it be great sometime if we had somewhere in the middle somewhere that we could all
meet? I know. Get a nice one, and then have a. I mean, I'm closing my gym, but I'm closing it for public use. I'm just going to use it for my private gym. So one day we can all come in here, just invite everybody to come in, and then literally just have a big meat party, meat fest, and whatever, it would be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know the Americans and they
Yeah.
went from
Yeah.
abroad, maybe a bit upset, but unfortunately, we can't help that.
Yeah. Eddie, there is something I want to ask, and I know with
Yes, yes.
I've seen people bring it up before actually, and that's about after the 90 days, because I've still got a mass to lose. My plan is just to carry on.
Yes. You know that there's a video in the classroom. We
Yeah,
told
I saw that after the 90 days. Yeah, I actually don't want to start introducing other things in. I would just be happy to go along because I'm getting all the nutrients, aren't I?
It's a lifestyle change. What you're eating is giving you literally just continue healing your body. I'm going to eat like this for the rest of my life. I've done this for about 3 or 4, and I'm not going to stop. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm not talking about going back to what I was, because oh my God, you know, no, not at all. But I know sort of people have said about like reintroducing certain things, and I just thought to myself, do you know what? I just don't think I am.
I mean, like what? You know what I mean? Because some people, you may say maybe once a week you might have like a family meal. I mean, with a, you know, you say I have a family meal once a week where we may go to a restaurant. But at the beginning, I'd order some other stuff, but now I just go and order steak. But we go to a restaurant. Sometimes I may have some chips, may have a couple of glasses of wine, but it's once a week, and I look forward to it. But I know I eat the foods that make me feel good. So there's no need to stop. I mean, don't stop. It's a lifestyle change. Remember that.
Yes. Yeah. No. Yeah. That's what I meant. I just I mean, I think this is just a long term. Yeah,
long term. But if you let's say one week think, oh, I fancy a bit of sweet potato. Have one meal with a sweet potato and it wouldn't hurt you. But then see how you feel. If you feel like I enjoy that, then go back to eating the foods that make you feel good. But the 90 days are just 90 days.
Yeah.
But by then you'd have 12 weeks is what it takes to become fat adapted. And then when you're fat adapted, your body has learned how to get energy from both fats and carbohydrates. So basically just ride with it. Don't stop.
Yeah.
When you're around our age, we are the ones that
21.
How old are you? You're 21. Yeah, I know.
No.
I feel like that. I feel like I did when I was in my 30s. But when you're this age, this is the time that they start throwing medication at us and they start making us feel like we should be winding down. Prove them wrong. Don't let them start fixing
of course, the next thing is I'm waiting for the appointment from the cardiologist, and I'm waiting for him to say, "What do you eat?" And I'm going to go ribeye. And they're going to go, "You can't do that."
Oh, I know. They will tell you that. They tell you can't do that's not good. But then, as much as you can, please fast.
Yeah.
Fasting is very important for so do like a 48-hour fast whenever you can, and if you can do a 72, because it's like pressing the reset button. It's not just about fat loss, it's about healing.
Yeah. Well, what I'll do then is I'll turn the 24-hour into a 48 or so, or I'll do what who was it? It wasn't Chloe. Someone the other day.
It's not Affy, you know.
Might have been Affy. Yeah, it might have been where she hadn't actually put an end clock on it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the best thing. Yeah.
And I thought that was brilliant, actually, because I thought, because then you're not actually counting down and going, oh, I've got an hour left and I can eat. You're just actually listening to how you feel.
But you remember what I was saying about us human beings, we are not meant to wake up as food waiting for us. We ate when we found food.
Yeah.
So if you don't feel like eating, just go and the fact is that the truth is that there is enough energy on you. Nothing is going to happen to you.
No.
Nothing can happen to you.
Got down to like, oh my God, I feel faint.
Oh, I know. Yeah, but if you are not far adapted and your body's only used to getting energy from carbohydrates, you will be like, oh, I feel faint, because your body will be asking for sugar. But now that your body knows how to burn fat and it can go long periods without eating, run with it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it's great, and the community. I mean, it is, the support is fabulous.
Yes, because everybody's feeling good now. What about your family around you? Do they notice any changes?
Well, I live on my own.
Okay.
But my friends, I think, are just looking at me going, "Oh my God," you know what I mean? Oh, here we go.
She's mad. Yeah, no.
Yeah. But and then like my really close friends
Yeah,
are, you know, like my bestie, if you like. She,
yeah.
I just said to her, look, this is what I'm eating now, and this is my choice, and you know. And she sort of went, okay, and she was like, but you know, but they all have this same thing in their head about, oh, you know, well, you can't just do that, and you can't. And I said, why? You know, and they said, but at the same time, they have to admit, this is the bit, that I'm looking better. Do you know what I mean?
I know. And you're feeling better as well.
Yeah, I do. I feel so much better.
I know. But please don't stop, because this is about healing. Remember, the fat will just come off. But like I said, what we're going to do is we're not going to give your body a chance to settle down.
No.
So you can do a 48-hour fast and then go back to eating 2 meals a day, and then do that for another 2 days. So 48-hour fast, do 2 meals a day for 2 days, and then go back to 1 meal a day, and then this will just complete confuse all the time. And then you find that it will just get rid of the body fat just like that. You know, because once you start eating the same time all the time, the body will just get used to it, and it will stay there. You know, the body's so clever. It always wants to settle where it is.
Yeah, which is why I've always gone back to the same weight, I think, because
yes. So change it about, you said one day you were at whatever time. If you feel like eating a 4, eat a 4. You just think, oh, I'm not ready to eat. You say yourself, like, don't put a time, like what we said, Afi said that. Don't put a time to it. Just look, I'm not eating up. Just roll with it. Roll with it.
I have started thinking much more like that. I keep thinking, if I was living in a cave now and I had to go and hunt my food, I probably wouldn't eat this for today. Do you know what I mean? And that's this kind of
true.
That's in this last week. That's the mentality I've really kind of adopted, and it's worked much better for me in the last week.
See, we've gone too far away from who we are as human beings.
Yeah.
And we've entrusted all our food matters to these companies who are only after profit. And I mean, it's like, that's how a capitalist society works. So it's only about after profit. Every time we go to the shop, there's something new. And you know, I don't know, when we were younger, things were not as bad as they are now. Oh my God, now you go there, different products and fast foods were not, food restaurants were not as bad as they are now. Every bloody town center has got, like, we just went to, where did we go to? Like a business and industrial estate. They got Costa, McDonald's, KFC, what else? There's an Audi. There's a Greg's. There's everything.
Yeah.
Subway, all of them in the same complex. And you think, and then there's a gym. I know. There's a gym. It's crazy.
I know, and it's when they label something as being healthy, and then you know, it's like, really? I just no.
But when you anything high protein stuff should be, this is what should be labeled high protein.
Yeah.
Okay. Or an egg, or like chicken. None of this bollocks that you got sugar in it, and you got like 55% of base sugar. So why did they say high protein in it? It doesn't make any sense. So honestly, just heal yourself, and then the more your friends see you do it, the more they're going to say, hang on, why is Dawn feeling so good? Why is she looking so good? Before you know it, they'll be on your case. You wait and see.
Yeah. But I think also it doesn't really matter, does it, what they think? Because at the end of the day,
yeah, I like that.
You know what I mean? It's my choice, and that's what I said to them when I was out for the meal the other night. I said, look, I'm not eating like this because I can't have anything, and I'm like weeping into my plate. I said, this is my choice.
Yeah, I can, but I choose not to. You know what I mean? That's what I always say.
You know, but that's the funny thing, and they just sort of look at me and go, you know, they almost feel sorry for me, and I'm like, I'm looking at them.
You know, it's true though. They feel sorry for you. Like, oh, Baba, see, I've been doing it long enough, and I've been screaming long enough. Nobody bothers with me. Like, they just leave me alone. It's like, no, don't tell me what to eat. Fuck off. Like, I'm very adamant that we've been lied to for so long that you know, if I go to a restaurant, I deliberately order what nobody else is ordering, just to piss them off. Because I like confrontation.
Oh, well.
Listen, thank you so much for being so active. Yeah, and please don't stop it. And thank you for talking to me.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you so much.
And because you're so active, I know that we'll speak again. So take care, yeah?
Okay, thank you, Eddie.
Bye-bye, Dawn. Bye-bye.